She was a testament to my own glory. I've given her a new name. The Queen Who Never Was.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at callbacks, small details, and subtle suggestions of future events that may have gone over your head during this season's finale of House of the Dragon. We will be discussing spoilers for both this show and Game of Thrones, so watch at your own risk.
My part is here, whether I will or no. It was decided for me long ago.
Number 10. Egons Injuries. House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones have this annoying knack for making us feel sorry for characters who've done terrible things. In this scene between Larys Strong and Aegon, the Burnt King mentions that a valuable piece of his anatomy has been scorched off, cooked like sausage.
It burst into flames like a sausage on a spit.
In Thrones, Theon Greyjoy had the same body part cut off by Ramsay Snow. Ramsay taunted Theon with a piece of pork sausage.
Yeah. Pork sausage.
Implying that Theon's lost appendage had become lunch. Theon eventually overcame his suffering and rediscovered a sense of purpose, something that Larys is encouraging Aegon to do here. Aegon even considers some honorable nicknames, an uplifting callback to his struggle in choosing a suitable moniker on the season premiere.
Aegon the Victorious, risen from the ashes. Aegon the Peacemaker. Aegon the Rebuilder.
Aegon the Realm's Delight.
Number 9. Lord Tywin's Lunch. On Prince Aemon's orders, Tywin Lannister finds himself engaged in shaky negotiations with some Triarchy pirates. He ends up mud wrestling with Admiral Shirako Lohar. The sailor keeps mistakenly referring to the Lannister as Tywin, a name you'll likely remember as the fearsome Game of Thrones antagonist who helped orchestrate the Red Wedding. After their tussle, Lohar offers Tywin an unsettling meal and makes a quip about the visitor's hesitance to accept.
So you reject the hospitality of my house?
The exchange could be a subtextual reference to guest right, an informal Westerosi law that hosts and their company may not harm each other once food and drink are exchanged. Walder Frey unforgettably got comeuppance for violating this law.
He killed a guest beneath his roof. That's something the gods can't forgive.
Fortunately for Tywin, Lohar's suggestion appears to be a simple joke.
A jest, my lord. What do you take me for?
Number 8. The North Remembers. Game of Thrones began its story with the Starks of Winterfell, but we've yet to see much of them in the prequel series. Most notably, we met Cregan Stark on the season premiere, when he offered Prince Jacaerys support for the war.
It pleases me to think that over a century ago our ancestors treated in this very place. The Conqueror and the King in the North.
You, at least, had the mercy not to threaten me with your dragon.
During a montage, we now get a quick glimpse of those Stark soldiers crossing the Twins and waving the emblematic direwolf sigil.
The Northerners will never forget.
Jace made this march possible during his conversation with Cregan and also during his negotiation for passage across the Twins a few episodes ago. Without using this bridge, the Northern armies would need to take a roundabout path and would likely have arrived too late to participate in battle. Their appearance here excitingly teases more of the Cregan Stark storyline.
But you must know that my gaze is forever torn between north and south. In winter, my duty to the wall is even more dire than the one I owe to King's Landing.
Number 7. A Wooden Throne. Helena can usually be counted on for a prophetic vision, and again, she does not disappoint.
Not the dragons. The rats.
When Aemond insists that Helena ride her dragon into battle, Helena presciently declares that Aemon's rule, and perhaps his life, won't last much longer. She claims that Aegon will once again be king, and she curiously describes his throne as wooden.
He sits on a wooden throne.
Since wood is much more fragile and more easily burned than the metal of the Iron Throne, this might suggest that any victory Aegon will have would be temporary, lacking in foundation and easily challenged. It could also refer to his injuries, since sitting on the Iron Throne might not be too comfortable in his current state. It seems likely that neither Targaryen brother has long to wear their crowns.
And you? You were swallowed up in the god's eye, and you were never seen again.
Number 6, a man without honor.
So many vows. They make you swear and swear. Defend the king, obey your father, protect the innocent, defend the weak.
Criston Cole's spirits have definitely been down since the battle at Rook's Rest. He doesn't even put up much of a fight when confronted by Gwaine Hightower about his past deeds. Somewhat nihilistically, he suggests that perhaps true and honorable men do not really exist. His complicated breakdown of morality sounds like Jaime Lannister's speech to Brienne in Game of Thrones, when he defeatedly expressed his frustration with honor.
Tell me if your precious Renly commanded you to kill your own father and stand by while thousands of men, women, and children burned alive, would you have done it?
Both men understand that justice in their world is not black and white, and flawless purity of character is probably a pipe dream. You might also notice the handkerchief he cradles that Alicent had previously given him before he headed off to battle. As ethically ambiguous as he might be, it seems Sir Cole can certainly be heartbroken.
Or perhaps all men are corrupt, and true honor is a mist that melts in the morning.
Number 5, a new dragon.
The Hightowers still have strength, and you have a son there who'll take more kindly to instruction. Daeron may yet help us in weeks to come.
Yes, the finale gave us an awesome first look at a wild dragon, but there was another one that you might not have noticed. At one point, we get a short sighting of the Hightower army, marching towards future plot events. If you look at the background skies, you can spot a dragon flying along with them. We've already talked about Alicent's yet unseen son Daeron, and the significant part he may end up playing.
My son Daeron. What's he like?
He's been alluded to multiple times, so the animal that we're seeing here is most likely Daeron's dragon Tessarion.
However, in happier tidings, Prince Daeron's dragon Tessarion has at last taken to wing. Your brother expects to join the fight soon.
Tessarion might not be as big as some of the other dragons, but seeing her flying with the Hightowers could be setting up some major showdowns. Number 4, a son for a son. The final minutes of Season 2 once again put Alicent and Rhaenyra together. This time, Alicent wants to help Rhaenyra take back the Iron Throne. But whether out of naivete, optimism, or a mother's love, she struggles to accept that this can never happen without the death of her firstborn.
I must take Aegon's head. And I have to do it for all to see. You know this.
When Rhaenyra makes this clear, she name-drops the same phrase that also served as the title for this season's premiere episode.
A son for a son.
It's fitting to bookend the season this way, since the loss of sons has catalyzed so many conflicts on the show.
Make it a son for a son.
Season 1 ended with the death of Lucerys Velaryon, and Season 2 began with the death of Prince Jaehaerys Targaryen. Should the pattern continue, who might we lose when Season 3 begins? Number 3, who pays the price?
They put the means to victory in your hands.
And yet, to claim it, I must strike. And in striking, I doom thousands to their deaths.
In one of their favorite spots for contemplation, Rhaenyra and Mysaria discuss the casualties of war. As they do, we can see two dragons aerially circling each other, perhaps dancing in a visual allusion to the dance of the Dragon's Civil War. When Mysaria asks about those who truly will pay the price of their conflict, the camera moves to the horizon and focuses on the flying steeds.
You must prevail.
And who pays the price?
If you think about it, you could include the dragons themselves among the innocents who are collaterally harmed by the fighting. They have no political motivations after all, but rather are animals being used for their power. If it's the innocent that pay the price, this subtle imagery invites conversation about exactly who the innocent consists of. Number 2, Dark Wings, Dark Words. Daemon's season of Nightmares concludes with the busiest vision yet.
All your life, you've sought to command your own fate. But today you are ready.
In this scene at the Weirwood Tree, he's hit with a montage of images that resembles Daenerys' journey into the House of the Undying. You might have caught the obvious ones like the White Walkers, but did you spot the three-eyed raven? Other recognizable appearances are Dany with her hatchlings and the colored dragon eggs. Before the manifestation even begins, you can see a soldier with an antler-like helmet walking in the darkness. Book readers will know this resembles Robert Baratheon's battle armor, which he would later wear when defeating Rhaegar Targaryen at the Trident.
I knocked him down with the hammer. God, I was strong then. Caved in his breastplate. Probably shattered every rib he had.
And afterwards, when Daemon goes on to speak with Rhaenyra, he recites those famous Stark words.
Sola armasis, soprumi vejume.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. It's all a story. There's a subtle motif in the final episode with multiple characters referencing a story of which they are all a part.
It's all a story. And you're but one part in it.
Helena cites the story as a warning to Aemond, and Daemon refers to the end of his story when swearing allegiance to Rhaenyra. If it sounds familiar, it's because Tyrion Lannister gives an impassioned speech about the strength of narratives on the Game of Thrones finale.
There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story.
Tales are indeed powerful weapons in Westeros, as they determine who has noble birth and who holds power. Heroes and villains are perceived by the way history writes them, and it's no accident that the first series ended with a nod to its source material. If Westerosi lore remembers you well, perhaps you've won the Game of Thrones.
I am meant to serve you, and all of these with me, until death, or the end of our story.
What did you catch that we missed? What was the biggest Easter egg of the season? Let us know in the comments below.
If I survive this war, I'll continue as I began. Alone.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.